Everything you need to know before buying a Cartier Santos. If the watch hasn't been on your radar, it should be. Cartier's seen a ton of growth over the last couple years, and into 2025, it's not going to stop. The Santos is the sportiest model from Cartier and a great place to start.
I would argue not only is it the sportiest model from Cartier, I think it's also the most adaptable, the most versatile watch in their entire collection. For those of you who don't know, I'm George's Elizabeth. Part of our job every year, we get to go to Watches and Wonders. We get to see all the new stuff first. And every single year, I wear a Santos.
You do?
I do.
And there's a lot you could choose from. I mean, Cartier is such a deep design lexicon. We represent Cartier new, but we also do pre-owned.
Sure.
So we get to see a lot of design.
Yeah.
So that says something.
Yeah, and they always do really interesting stuff, shaped watches and things that are very, very interesting. But if you're going to be traveling, oh my goodness, the Santos is the watch to bring.
Yep.
You can wear it t-shirt and jeans on your day off. It suits up. It just does it for every meeting I'm going to, for after dinner, before dinner, whatever I'm doing, the Santos does it with a palm. It's just absolutely perfect.
Always looks nice for whatever you're going to.
And really well respected out there. That was a bit of a surprise for me. I joke, it was kind of like wearing an Amex Black Card on your wrist. People are like, oh, sir, and opening doors for you. So you're like, oh, wow, all right, cool. I like this.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's how you got put up at the Ritz. Okay. So the brand does not gender specify their watches. There's no men's, there's no women's. It's just by size.
Well, funny story, too. They were the first ones to ever do that. They started actually doing that all the way back into the late 80s, early 90s. Right. And I really think it was when they first started to push into the Asian markets. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to be size specific. This is a guy's watch, this is a gal's watch. Right. I thought it was a brilliant marketing move back then. And it really holds true today. It is what size works best on you. Whatever works best on you is the right size.
Santos today is offered in sizes medium, large, and extra large. No small. That's in the Santos Dumont collection. That's for another video. This is Santos. The medium size measures 35 millimeters and about 8.8 millimeters thick. Mm-hmm.
I would say it wears just a hair bigger than that. Being a square, it's kind of hard to quantify the actual size. So your mileage may vary. Try it on, but I would say it wears more like a 36, maybe a 37.
Both George and I have the medium on. It's the perfect size for me. If you're just looking for stainless steel, it comes in 4 different dial colors. There's green that George has on, blue, which are both kind of the sunray finish, white, and then also a brown with the sunray that we haven't yet seen in store.
Correct. There's also some diamond variants. Just FYI too, when I touched on it earlier how versatile these things are, they all come with a second strap. Mm-hmm. They were one of the first. It is really adaptable, no tools needed. Take the bracelet off, put the strap on, and we'll take a look at that real quick here because it's one. We just did another short where I talked about my favorite Santos, and we'll play with that in just a second. But I like this size on me.
Yeah.
I've been feeling a little bit smaller watch lately, not the big bold statement slipping under a sleeve. I really, really like this size. Traditionally, I've worn the larger one to Watches and Wonders, and this year it might be the year I do the smaller.
I think
it's
the trend
cool.
is going smaller again, especially for men. I think the medium's an awesome option. More of a dress feel with smaller.
Kind of a vintage vibe to it for me. Yeah,
I
dig it. Yeah, absolutely.
You can also go two-tone in the medium size, which is yellow, gold, and steel. And then in solid yellow gold and rose gold, it also comes on strap only, but you still get 2 alligator strap options. Onto the large size. This is a 39.7 millimeter. We're going to call it a 40, and about 9 millimeters thick. Yep. Now, similar colorways, metals as medium size, a lot more options in large. And when you're looking at the steel model specifically, you now get a date at 6 o'clock.
Yep, I like the addition of the date. And for me, this watch specifically might be the best version, the perfect version. It's something we don't talk about very often. Cartier as a brand doesn't do a ton of lume. Occasionally the loomed hands. This is the first model I can really think of. And correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been the Santos 100 back in the day, but full lume. The numbers, the hands, they do this one, they do the blackout DLC. And this one in particular on the bracelet is just a fabulous watch. I'm really kind of smitten by it. I like the 40. I think I can wear that just fine. And just for reference, I've got about a 7 1/4 wrist. So
and I have the green dial on all steel, which has the high polished bezel, and it just looks really nice. I think this can definitely go as a dress watch.
Absolutely.
But it's a steel bracelet, so you get that sporty
and I don't
feel.
need that size on you. I mean, it really fills your wrist for sure. It's kind of that boyfriend watch look.
Yeah.
I think you could absolutely pull it off.
This is about as big as I would go for me.
It's kind of a joke we have behind the counter. It's not the size of the wrist, it's the size of the attitude. And I think you can absolutely pull that one off.
Thank you so much, George. Also, the large models is where we see the skeletons, which we don't have any in front of us today. A pretty special piece.
Pretty special piece. Difficult to acquire. We have had a few come through. They don't last long. Most of us have them kind of pre-sold. So if you see one and you're feeling it, grab it, because you might not see it again.
And actually, it's legible, the skeleton movement from Cartier.
Well, it's one of the coolest things. Like it tickles both the collector and the high horology aspects of it. The way they did that movement, the movement plates itself form the Roman numerals to tell time, and I just think that's the coolest thing ever.
The
Thank
Roman
you,
numerals
Cartier,
are fantastic.
for
That's
doing
the
really
best part.
cool stuff. Yeah, and I just want to show you guys this really quick. So this is the ADLC bezel on the stainless steel bracelet. Very, very easy to remove the bracelet. And this one comes with the strap from this model.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to show you how versatile this watch can be. Going from the stainless steel bracelet to this absolutely sporty, wonderful watch. Throw it on t-shirt and jeans, and that took all of a minute.
Cartier's quick switch system, really easy to change the straps. They all come with 2 straps. They also have a quick link adjustment system.
It's absolutely amazing. You can size this watch at the dinner table with a toothpick. Crazy how good it is. And I just want to call out Cartier. I really like it when we catch a watch company doing it better, figuring it out, doing something smart. A lot of times you just do it and then you rest on your laurels, and I think they're always innovating. They're always coming up with new stuff, especially for being around as long as they have, and I really appreciate that in a brand.
It's very handy to not have to get all your tools out to change your strap. And on to the extra large size. This is a 44.9 millimeter, let's call it a 45, a little over 12 millimeters thick. The story with the extra large is that there aren't many models currently done, and they are chronographs.
What I really like about this watch is the innovation of the chronograph. It kind of took me a second. You would think it's a mono pusher chrono just with having the one button. The return to zero function is actually hidden in the crown. So it's start, stop, and then the crown is reset. I love that. For me, and again, this is all personal preference, watch a little big. I don't think I have quite enough wrist presence to really pull this one off. The watch is wearing me.
And how's the weight with the two-tone?
The weight's great. I don't mind the weight at all. And the curve is so good. Their ergonomics are phenomenal. They really do hug the wrist. They want you to take them home. They kind of like, take me home. But I would say this one does really fill my wrist. This would absolutely max me out. So hopefully that gave you a little bit better idea of the Cartier Santos, how they wear, how adaptable they really are. And please, if you want to know more, stop in. We are at the Shops at Gainey Village. We carry Cartier both new and pre-owned. We also have a small store down in Scottsdale Fashion Square, ironically right next to Cartier.
Yeah.
And then we have a store in Aspen, Colorado. If you're fortunate enough to be up there, please say hi to Bo for us. Thanks.